So we've been talking, I'm saying conceptually about a strategic narrative. What exactly does a strategic narrative sound like? I mean, are we talking about a 30-second pitch, a 1 minute story, a 5 minute video? I mean, what are the different forms?
This is a great question, and it's really like the first question I had to wrestle with when I started doing this work. Like, yeah, we want to tell this story that is going to kind of pervade everything, like recruiting, investor talk, customer. And where are we going to write that down and in what format? And the traditional answer to that question, in business, especially B2B, everywhere, is we're going to write it down in a place the world never sees. So it's going to be in some kind of internal, I don't know, vision deck. Um, Marketers call like our messaging house. It's some internal like sort of document that codifies the story and the pieces of it, but it's not something the world sees. So the idea of it is people are going to always come back to this thing, like this positioning guide or messaging guide or strategy guide. And when I do need to build something, that I'm going to show customers or the world or investors or whatever, I'll pull messages from this thing and pull thinking from this thing, and it'll guide me to create this. I found that would break down for a couple of reasons. One, people wouldn't go back to it. They'd forget, especially outside of the marketing department, they wouldn't go back. And second, like I think it's very hard for most people to take fragments of messages, some high level, hey, this is our story, and bake them into things that people actually see. So I thought really hard about this question when I started and like what would work better. And I came to the sales pitch that and this is a controversial decision, which you can see if you see my LinkedIn feed. I've been writing about it lately and getting a lot of like what I mean. Basically, in business school we're taught that we should have a mission, like is a mission statement, vision statement, Porter's five forces, positioning. All these things are going to like define the strategy. And what I find works better is the sales deck, and because we want to do all that thinking about how to position and stuff, all the rest. But hey, if we can't codify that, if we can't communicate that in a sales conversation, that's going to be relatively short. So I'm not saying an elevator pitch that's 3 seconds, but a reasonably short amount of time with a first prospect, which is for the companies I'm working with, like that's the most important communication channel. Then then maybe how do we know it's working? So when you're asking what are we building, I'm building it as the sales pitch. But the way this sales pitch is structured is different from the traditional pitch. So the traditional pitch is structured: what's your problem? Here, you have a problem. I have the solution. Let me tell you why it's better than the other solutions. That's what I call the bragging doctor, right? Even if it's true, maybe you do have the best cure. I don't know, but the structure is, hey, I got the best, and this structure is different. When Tien Tzuo starts out and says, hey, we're now living in a subscription economy. He's not talking about a problem. Now, of course, there's going to be problems that raises that his software will try to help you solve, but the getting into it is very different structure.